A lead investigator into the Germanwings crash has called for anyone with footage of the disaster to hand it over to the authorities. French prosecutor Brice Robin said he was not aware of a video, reported by German and French media, showing the last seconds before the crash. Bild and Paris Match said on Tuesday they had mobile phone footage from inside the plane. Airline bosses spoke of their regret on a visit to the crash site on Wednesday. Their statement comes amid mounting questions about how much the co-pilot Andreas Lubitz's employers knew about his mental health after it emerged he had disclosed a previous bout of severe depression. A recording from the cockpit of the aircraft suggests Lubitz, 27, deliberately caused the disaster, killing all 150 on board. Sound of screaming. Mr. Robin said investigators were not yet examining mobile phones found at the crash site, and he was not aware of footage from phones having been recovered. German newspaper Bild and French news magazine Paris Match said they had obtained a video which recorded the sound of passengers screaming and the sound of a metal object striking the cockpit door. Anyone with footage must hand it over immediately to investigators, AFP news agency quoted the French prosecutor as saying on Wednesday. Place of mourning. Thomas Winkelmann, chief executive of Germanwings, and Carsten Spar, head of the parent company Lufthansa, visited Seine-les-Alpes on Wednesday to inspect recovery operations based there. The Lufthansa boss said it would take a long time for investigators to establish the cause of the crash, and said we're sorry over the disaster. Thanking rescue workers and local residents, Mr. Spar said, everybody at Lufthansa knows how hard this work has been. We are very grateful. We know the burden that has been put on this area, where nothing is the same anymore. We will do everything we can to turn this place into a place of mourning for relatives of the victims, and to restore this beautiful countryside. They laid a wreath at a memorial to those killed but refused to take questions from journalists about the investigation. Mr. Spar had previously said that Lufthansa was not aware of anything that could have driven the co-pilot to crash the Airbus A320. The plane went down on March 24 as it traveled from Barcelona to Düsseldorf, killing all 150 people on board. The victims included babies, exchange students, 2 opera singers and football reporters. A memorial service is due to take place later on Wednesday in Haltern, Germany, for the 16 exchange students and their 2 teachers who died. None of the victims were found intact after the plane's 700 kph, 430 miles per hour, impact, but different strands of DNA have been identified at the site. Teams are still searching for a second flight recorder. Lufthansa said on Tuesday it had set aside $300 million, 280 million euros, 200 million pounds, to deal with possible costs from the crash, as French aviation investigators said they were examining systemic weaknesses that could have led to the disaster.